Hey, 42 here. In 1902, an archaeologist was diving off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera when he chanced upon a large shipwreck. It was the ruins of a Roman trading vessel carrying large amounts of wine and various other treasures from the Greek islands. What the diver found was one of the greatest hauls of antiquity period artifacts we have ever found. But among the pottery, marble statues and jewellery, inside an unassuming wooden box was an object that historians have never ever seen before, a device so bewildering that it altered everything we knew about ancient history. This highly corroded bronze relic is the Antikythera mechanism, named after where it was found, but beyond that it is shrouded in mystery. What we do know is that it was constructed by an unknown Greek scientist over 2,100 years ago. The strange mechanical device is made up of numerous gears, switches and mechanical oddities. Upon its discovery, scientists pulled their hair out trying to deduce where it came from, who made it, how does it work, and what does it do. Scientists from all over the world examined the device for over 100 years, but nobody ever got remotely close to uncovering its secrets. And so, for the past 100 years, the Antikythera mechanism has sat on display at the National Museum of Archaeology in Athens, Greece, completely undisturbed, shrouded in mystery. Until recently. Over the past 20 years, using a whole array of modern technologies, we have been able to crack the code behind this unknown mechanism. A whole host of experts in the fields of engineering, archaeology and various other sciences from multiple countries collaborated in an effort to painstakingly pick apart the device. But there was a problem. Being such a significant historic relic, the Antikythera mechanism couldn't literally be picked apart. So, to see beneath the surface, scientists had to use a highly specialised X-ray machine, which presented another problem. One of the only X-ray machines in the world capable of seeing inside this corroded bronze marvel was located in England. The relic itself is far too fragile to be moved outside of its Athens museum, so the extremely large and heavy X-ray machine had to be shipped all the way to Athens at a great expense, so that the relic could be safely imaged without moving it more than a few meters. But the details that they uncovered inside the device blew the minds of every antiquity historian out there, because the technology used inside it shouldn't have existed over 2,000 years ago when it was made. The complex clock-like device contains 37 gears of varying sizes, shapes and teeth counts. Each cog is precisely manufactured to exacting standards and has a teeth count that correlates to a prime number. What you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is the world's very first computer. Over 2,000 years before the Apple I, and over 2,000 years before Alan Turing's bomb. It's incredible to think that this is an actual computer that can take an input and compute an output. That was invented and created in roughly 100 BC. Over 1,500 years before arguably less complex things like the printing press, the light bulb and the steam engine were invented. So, what does the Antikythera mechanism do? Before I tell you, I'd like to take a minute to thank Skillshare for supporting me and making this video possible. Skillshare is an online learning community with more than 17,000 classes in design, photo, illustration. Almost anything you've always wanted to learn, you can do so with Skillshare. All the way from game design to how to cook like a professional chef. Anyone who's watched my channel for a while will know that I love to cook in my spare time, and you can bet I've been learning some incredible new cooking skills on Skillshare. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to over 17,000 classes, so you can keep on learning and take on a new project whenever you feel like it. The first 500 people to click the promo link in the description below will get 2 months of Skillshare Premium completely free. After that, it's only $10 per month. If you don't like it, cancel. There's no risk. But from my own experience, I just know you're going to love it. You can even learn as you go with the new Skillshare mobile apps, even when you're offline. But remember, only the first 500 people to click the link below will get 2 months completely free. Using the most advanced technology available to us today and the collective work of many experts over a number of years, we have been able to determine that this ancient computer's function was to track the Metonic calendar and predict solar eclipses. It also keeps track of the timing of several athletic games such as the ancient Olympics. This device should not exist. It is so incomprehensibly ahead of its time that it's almost impossible to believe that it was created when it was. To put things into perspective, the first mechanical clock wasn't invented until late 14th century, and it was roughly the size of a small car. Yet, this device created 1500 years earlier in ancient Greece was considerably smaller, more intricate, more precisely engineered, and many times smarter. For it could not only keep track of time, but predict the future in the way that a piece of modern computer software can. The Antikythera mechanism contains sets of gears, pins and rivets that could collectively model and keep track of the movement of the sun, moon and planets in the night sky. This is a diagram of the logic pathways of the Antikythera mechanism, showing the functions of each gear. If such a device were created today, it would still be impressive. It is believed that the knowledge used to create such an advanced device was lost in antiquity, as nothing anywhere close to as sophisticated as this would be created for another 1,000 years. The gross improbability of its existence has of course led to many science fiction writers claiming it was created by or given to us by aliens. But the Antikythera mechanism isn't the first out-of-place historic artifact which has been blamed on aliens. In 1912, a Polish book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich travelled to Villa Mondragone in Italy, where he discovered and purchased a very old and very mysterious book. It had no title upon the cover and no author within it. It contained hundreds of pages of detailed yet bizarre illustrations, surrounded by text that is written in an unknown language or possibly a code. For the remainder of his life, Voynich became completely obsessed with decoding the book's words and diagrams to try and understand who wrote it, when and where was it written, and what does it all mean. Having dedicated his entire life to unlocking the book's secrets, Voynich died, having come no closer to answering any of these questions. The book has been given the name the Voynich Manuscript, after the man who found it, and so the Voynich manuscript was passed around from one cryptographer to another. Both American and British codebreakers attempted to decode it during World War I and II, with absolutely no success. It has come to be one of the most famous unsolved codes in the entire history of cryptography. Even using the most sophisticated computer cryptanalyst techniques available to us today, we have still not even come close to solving it. Linguists have examined the manuscript and concluded that its contents are not written in any natural historic language that we know of. This only leaves 2 likely alternatives. The book is written in a very old language that we are completely unaware of, that was lost to time, or the other option, it is written using a cipher, a secret code to disguise the true contents of the text. This means that whatever is written in the Voynich manuscript is of such high importance and significance that the author felt it necessary to painstakingly encode every word. The animal skin parchment that the manuscript is written on was recently carbon dated. The results showed that the book was written sometime between 1404 and 1438. Cryptography was really very basic at this time in history. The only effective method of cryptography that had been discovered in the 15th century were substitution ciphers, in which each letter of the alphabet is simply swapped with another. Using modern computers, we have long been able to crack such ciphers with ease. In fact, we have been able to crack every known cipher up to the 18th century, long after the Voynich manuscript was supposedly written. Yet, this one mysterious book still remains uncrackable. The illustrations consist of a variety of herbal plants, as well as nude women bathing, astrological symbols, and visual metaphors. Some of the illustrations contained within have an uncanny resemblance to images from the natural world that would not have even been seen by humans for another few hundred years after the manuscript's inception. Such as this illustration that looks remarkably similar to a galaxy, and this which has a resemblance of a plant cell. Yet the telescope and microscope wouldn't be invented until 200 years later. There are many aspects to this manuscript that are historically out of place and way ahead of their time, leading many to believe that the Voynich manuscript is the memoirs of an alien who was stranded on planet Earth. Which could also explain the alien-like language. Yes, I know, it seemed like whenever the internet is struggling to explain something, it turns to aliens. Other theories from various scholars around the world include the Voynich manuscript was written by medieval scientist Roger Bacon, or even by a young Leonardo da Vinci, but the carbon dating of the book puts its inception out of both of these men's lifetimes. It has been thought by many that if we could crack the Voynich manuscript, we would unlock the secret to eternal youth, as many of the illustrations seem to allude to this. Others say it's an alchemist's handbook, and it contains hundreds of powerful alchemy recipes, long lost to time. But one incredible aspect of the Voynich manuscript, which I can't wrap my head around, is that upon examination under a microscope, there is not a single mistake or error. Across all 260 plus pages of this mysterious codex, there is not one piece of evidence that suggests that a correction was made by the author. Considering that it contains many thousands of words written in a secret code and some of the most complex, detailed and beautiful illustrations from a book of this time period, including a masterfully illustrated 6-page fold-out, the fact that not a single mistake was made by the author is, quite frankly, unbelievable. Superhuman, in fact. Today, it sits securely in the Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale. It is undoubtedly the most mysterious book within the library's vast collection. Every few years, another learned scholar tries their luck at deciphering the book's text and unlocking its secrets. All have, so far, failed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please click here to support me on Patreon to help me make more videos. Click here to watch another video, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Also, be quick and click the link below if you want to get 2 months of Skillshare completely free.